everybody, Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. And before we get into it, I just want to apologize if it seems like I'm all cranky and stuff about Warhammer in the past few. I've seen some comments that people have been like, "Hey, dude, get the stick out of your butt and stuff." And I had a blast at this GT. I really did. I enjoy Warhammer very much. It's my absolute favorite hobby. It's just the army. I'm burned out of playing Warriors of Chaos. I don't want to play this army. I want to be playing my Tomb Kings. That's all it is. That's all it is. I apologize if it's transferring over into the battle reports. That was not the intent. It's just I'm a sissy baby, and I want to play my Tomb Kings, and I didn't get to, and the Warriors, my heart's just not in it anymore. But just bear with me. There's two more games to do with Warriors of Chaos, and then you'll never see this particular army again. So, again, I apologize if the energy hasn't been as high. I will work on that, but it is what it is. And if I do get a little salty in the last two reports, I'll just have to refund all your money, I guess. I apologize. But now that that's out of the way, this is Game 4 of the Rock Wars GT 2014. Obviously, it was a 2,200 point battle. It was Lord Tremendous of the Warriors of Chaos, that's me, versus Anti-Dice of the High Elves, Chris Bowen. Real good guy, just unfortunately I caught him on a real unlucky day. The scenario for this one is all the objectives belongs to me. The deployment was the table is divided into four corners, even corners. The player who has the most bonus points chooses table corner. And if you're not familiar with what the hell I'm talking about, excuse me, bonus points in this game, or in this GT, were if you took certain choices. For example, in my list, I have two bonus choices. I have my Forsaken and I have the Beast. Every army is different. There are certain units that you can take or certain characters that you could take that would give you bonus points. For every unit you got, it was, a varying amount of bonus points or whatever. But the person with the most bonus points based off of, the softer choices in their list gets to choose their table corner. And I only had a +3. My opponent had a +10. So he was beating me by by over triple. So there you go. Then the other person, that would be me in this situation, deploys in the corner adjacent to the one that the first guy chooses. No unit can deploy within 6 inches of the center because deploying right on top of each other would be stupid. Special rules for this one are there are 5 markers placed in the center of each corner. So basically there's 4 in each corner and 1 dead in the middle. Any unit that counts as bonus unit counts as generating fortitude if they didn't already. Fortitude units are the only units that can capture the markers. So if any of your bonus units, for example, my Forsaken and my Beast, that didn't generate Fortitude before, in this particular scenario, now they do. The victory conditions are each marker counts as 2 battle points, not victory points, battle points. In order to control a marker, you must have a unit that generates fortitude within 3 inches of the marker at the end of the game, and you have to have more within 3 inches of the marker than your opponent does. You cannot score more than 10 battle points in this game, and that's important because if you capture all 5 of the tokens and get some of the bonus BP, you could go way over 10. So 10 is your limit. Bonus battle points, now that we've talked about it, is you get +1 for killing the enemy general, +1 for killing all enemy rare units, and +1 if you won the game by more than 500 victory points.
Assemble the army!
Here's my list, and I'm going to go through it really quick. I have a Demon Prince, Lord Tremendous of the Mark Zinch, level 4 Wizard, Cast Armor, Charm Shield, Dragon Gem, Other Tricks, Shard, Soul Feeder, Flame Breast, Scaled Skin, Lower Metal. My hero choices are Exalted Hero Lady Elizabeth, Mark Zinch, Halberd, Castade, BSB. How many eyes? Don't stone it, boys, it's slime! My final Exalted Hero choice was Catastrophe, Mark Zinch, Demonic Mount, Halberd, Shield, Talisman of Preservation, and Third Eye Zinch. My core choices are my 5 Chaos Warhounds, the Khorne Dogs, 18 Chaos Warriors, the Reavers of Uthwan, Mark Khorne, Halberd's Full Command Banner Rage, and 15 Forsaken, Khorne's Forgotten with the Mark of Khorne. My special choice consists of 5 Chaos Knights, Elizabeth's Honor Guard, with Mark Zinch, Source of Weapons, Banner Musicians that are disciplined, and my rare choice is the one, the only, the unbeatable Snuffleupagus, my Mutalith Vortex. Gotta love the Beast. My opponent's list will be much slower because you haven't heard this one before. And if you have, you're cheating or you can see into the future. Either way, you terrify me. His general was an Archmage, level 4 wizard with the Book of Hoeth, Talisman of Endurance, and the Lore of High Magic. His hero choices were a Mage, who was a level 1 wizard with the Spell Scroll, Kane's Ring of Fury, and the Lore of Shadow. Last but not least, he had a noble. I'm sorry, that's not last, but yeah, he had a noble who was his BSB with heavy armor, barded elven steed, dragon helm, golden crown of Adrazar, and sword of might. I always did get that a little confused. How could you have a dragon helm and a golden crown of Adramar or whatever? That okay, whatever. And then of course he had Corhill, the high elf special character. I guess he's the special white lion or whatever. His core choices were a unit of 5 Alarian Reavers with bows, musician, and standard, 15 Sea Guard with shields, musician, and standard, 9 Silverhelms with shields and full command. His special choices were a Lotharian Sky Cutter, 19 Swordmasters of Hoeth with Banner Musician and the Banner of the World Dragon, and his rare choices were 8 Sisters of Avalorn, 2 Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, and a Frostheart Phoenix in a pear tree. See what I did there? These are my spells, which are 4 for metal because I needs to. And you know what? We were in a bit of a hurry. I kind of got there late because I was in the potty. And so, yeah, I didn't get a picture of his cards. I was trying to play catch up. But trust me, he has spells. Here's deployment, and it's a little different, little crazy. I won't lie. My deployment idea was as follows. The Beast was going to go into the northwest, my northwest quadrant, and try to keep that token. I knew the Phoenix was probably going for it, but if I could keep the Phoenix over there, it'll keep him out of the fight long enough that hopefully it'll be the end of the game by the time the Phoenix does anything. So if it knocks me off that 1 fortitude point, or 1 battle point marker, then so be it. The dogs were just kind of going to give him something to shoot at, so he didn't shoot at anything important. My Demon Prince and my Exalted Hero were positioned right at the 6-inch line from the center. The Exalted Hero was going to charge a Bolt Thrower, so it couldn't do any nastiness, and my Demon Prince was going to charge the Sword Masters. Not because it's smart. It was a closed list, but let's face it. You play High Elves and you see Sword Masters or White Lions, and there's more than 5. They've got the Banner of the World Dragon. Plain simple and to the point. So I knew it was in there, but he had his level 4 wizard and he had Corhill in there. I wanted to kill them. I wanted points, and I knew I could probably take whatever the Sword Masters threw at me because I'd have a 3-up armor, 5-up ward. I'm regenning with the other Trickster Shard. He's got to reroll his 2-ups, so he's going to give me some 1s. I'm okay there. Next up, my Corn Warriors were sitting on the marker. Their job was to secure me 2 battle points, because as much as I love killing elves, I like winning games more. Not that I'm really, a overly competitive guy, as most of you already know, but damn it, I wanted to do better than 1-4 for this damn tournament. Meanwhile, the Forsaken and the Knights were going to fire across the right side there and try to sweep up, I just wanted to kind of put pressure on that token on the southeast corner of the table. As for the northeast token, if I could get to it, I would, but that one wasn't one I wanted. I wanted to get 4. I wanted to get the one in the middle, and the Demon Prince was going to get that one for me because he generates Fortitude. That was the plan. That's why I deployed like this. Here's my opponent's top half, I guess. He's got his Silver Helm with his BSB in there, and that unit of knights right there. Right behind them are his Sea Guard. Right next to them is a very nicely painted Frostheart Phoenix. And then, of course, the obligatory Bolt Thrower. And here's his right bottom half-ish. From right to left, I guess, is his Sky Cutter, his Sisters of Avalorn, his Reavers, his second Bolt Thrower, and below them are his... Swordmasters with Corhill and his Archmage, and I believe in his Sea Guard he had his other little level 1 Shadow Mage. Here's my top left half-ish. I've got my Beast, my Dogs, and my Corn Warriors. And my right half, which consists of Exalted Hero, Catastrophe, just above the wings of the Demon Prince. He's kind of hard to see. My Demon Prince, of course, my Forsaken, and my Knights with Lady Elizabeth. Here's top of 1 after movement, and I got to go first. Yay! Yay! And I charged. I charged so hard. My Demon Prince, never one to miss an opportunity to kill elves, actually made a charge. It was really easy, actually. He was, oh gosh, 13 inches away, and I made it no problem. Though Catastrophe did not. He tried to charge the bolt thrower. He needed a 9, and he failed. He failed miserably, actually. I rolled like a 5. It was really, really bad. My beast runs over and captures the token. I really just wanted to get 18 inches away from his knights so I could start messing with them. The dogs moved up, just hopefully the phoenix would go after them, or the bolt throwers would shoot at it. They're about 7 inches away, 6.5, 7 inches away from the beast, so I wasn't worried about a panic. The corn warriors stay right where they're at. The knights, I decided we're going to readjust. Just me and master plans, you know. I wasn't sure where the Phoenix was going to go. I wouldn't mind getting Lady Elizabeth into combat with it because she has poison attacks and she can't be stumped and everything else. So I kind of angled her in such a way that I could deal with the Phoenix if it decided to come and play with the Demon Prince. And my Forsaken moved up to basically claim that one battle point token on the bottom right. And yeah, just to let you guys know too, kind of side note, a little appendix here. When my Demon Prince charged his Sword Masters, they needed a terror check, and he actually failed it. Let me just go on record here as to say, it's game 4. I have 14 battle points left, and my opponent's dice were screwing him pretty bad already. Just generating spells and stuff, he was rolling really low. When he failed that terror check, I'm like, well, where's your BSB? And because he rolled like snake eyes to flee, which would have got him away from everything because he would have bounced through his bolt thrower. But what a ridiculous way to lose your big unit, you know? So I'm like, where's your BSB? And he's like, he's in this unit of knights, and I put him on the wrong side. It's like, dude, I got 14 battle points. Move your damn BSB. And I got to be honest, at first I didn't think he was going to, but he did because I wanted to have a game. You know, I'm not here for medal anymore. I'm here for fun. And this whole tournament's been a blast. So dude moved his BSB over, redid his leadership check, and passed it with flying colors. And my Demon Prince got to slam into some elves. And basically, I just figured my Demon Prince was going to be there. If I could get him broke off of that unit by bottom of 6 or top of 6, so I can move over to that token in the middle, so be it. But other than that, yeah, that's just the start of my poor opponent's dice problems. Oh, it gets worse. Here's a better picture of my Demon Prince slamming into the Sword Masters. And like I said, this was an assassination mission. I wanted to kill his level 4, and I wanted to kill Corhill. Corhill if he moved over, but if not, then yeah, his level 4 had to die. And there's a better picture at Catastrophe, keeping failure at 95%. Raise that bar, buddy. During the magic phase, just because I think it would be fun, I get final transmutation off on the sisters, and I think I kill 3 of them, 3 or 4 of them. And of course, I do the bubble stupidity. It was fun. It was irresistible. It was a miscast 8. I dodged a bullet there. I was perfectly fine with it. My ward save, I think, stopped it. And with no shooting going on, we go into combat. And remember how I told you he was having some terrible, terrible luck here? Well, Corhill makes way and swings away at the Demon Prince and flubs spectacularly. I mean, spectacularly. My Demon Prince, you know, he strikes before the Sword Masters. He puts all of his attacks on Corhill because the way I see it is he's the biggest danger in the entire unit, so I need to start working on him immediately. I end up hitting and wounding 3 times. He picks up 3 dice and proceeds to roll 3 ones. Yeah. Mathematicians, anybody else want to tell me how unlikely that is going to be? Yeah. Corhill dies in a unit with the Banner of the World Dragon by rolling 3 ones. He took every single wound. So Corhill dies. The Sword Masters actually do pretty well. They actually put 3 wounds through on my Demon Prince, but with Thunderstomp and everything like that, I'm able to do a decent amount of damage. I think I win this combat, but they're stubborn and don't go anywhere, and I'm able to Soul Feeder a wound. So far my plan's going well. Apparently I bribed his dice and had no idea. So we go over here to bottom of 1 after movement, and there's not much, actually. I gotta be honest with you, my opponent was really frustrated with his dice. Very cool to me, he was not rude to me, and we all know what I'm talking about. He was frustrated with his dice, he was not rude to me whatsoever, but I think it kind of took his head out of the game a little bit when he realized his dice were rolling like crap. And I was wrong too. I actually soul feedered 2 wounds during that combat. As you can see in this picture, my Demon Prince only has 1 wound left on him. But for the most part, it's if I remember correctly, his Phoenix actually backed up a little bit. The rest of his stuff kind of postured, but that was really it. He kind of balked. His Sky Cutter and his Reavers, I believe, kind of went over towards the right side to kind of do a Mexican standoff with the Forsaken. But other than that, not a whole lot. During his magic phase, he gets Hand of Glory off on his Sea Guard, and I think he was just doing that to shoot at my beast and hit easier. Uh, in order to get that Hand of Glory off, though, he needed to miscast it. He Irresistible Forced it through there. Ends up rolling a miscast 7. He fails to wound me. Like I said, his dice are just awful. He fails to wound me at all. He rolls a 1, and the wounds that he does to his unit, I think 1 takes it and dies. Other than that, though, I think it just kind of ends his magic phase. During the shooting phase, instead of shooting at the beast, he shoots at my dogs with his Hand of Gloried Sea Guard. He does a great job. He kills 3 of them. The remaining 2 flee. And I can't blame him. That was what the dogs were supposed to do. It was supposed to give him a more enticing target than anything important, you know? And then over here, his Sisters of Avalorn fire their bows at the Forsaken and plink one of the poor guys. In combat over here, I'm able to put a couple of wounds, I think, on the Archmage. I'm not 100%, and I think I kill maybe 1 more Swordmaster. I do take a wound for my trouble because I'm rolling average. I have no complaints. But I think he wins this combat, but I'm unbreakable, and so I don't care. So, we go over here to top of 2 after movement, and there's been a little bit. My Knight, seeing that his Phoenix is kind of balking a little bit, I ignore it. I'm sorry, his Phoenix did shift over, as you can see. I took the bottom of one picture a little bit early. My bad. But anyway, my Knights kind of realized that the bird's going to take the bait and go after the beast, and I'm willing to sacrifice the beast to keep the Phoenix away from the majority of this while I work on everything else with my other units. Lady Elizabeth does charge into the Swordmasters just because I want his level 4 dead. I really don't want to go through another magic phase with a level 4 elf with the Book of Hoeth. My Exalted Hero tries to charge his Bolt Thrower again and fails again. If you can believe it. And other than that, my dogs continue to flee. There's a better picture of Lady Elizabeth slamming into this combat because she wants blood. And there's a better picture of Castashwy raising the bar to 99% fail. During the magic phase, because it was so much fun the first time, I got Final Transmutation off on the Sisters again. I don't kill any of them, but Bubble Stupidity's back in effect, and that's kind of worth it all by itself. In order to get it off, though, I had to Irresistible Force it again. I end up miscasting 6. Me, Lady Elizabeth, and a few of the Swordmasters take the wounds. 1 Swordmaster dies, Lady Elizabeth takes a wound, and my Demon Prince eats 1 as well. So it's like, oh no! But then in combat, oh my God, I can't even begin to tell you how bad this went for my opponent. And it was no fault of his other than the fact that his dice were mad at him. Lady Elizabeth has to issue a challenge. Of course, his Archmage rejected it and went to the back when there was a back. Lady Elizabeth proceeds to hit and wound 4 times, killing 4 of the guys, and that's fine. She doesn't have magical attacks, so that was expected. That was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna eat through this unit a little bit. My Demon Prince hits and wounds 4 times as well, but only 1 drops because he's able to make his ward saves. So he attacks back, and he doesn't do anything. Lady Elizabeth is able to weather it with her armor save. My Demon Prince, he just couldn't wound. I mean, he hit a few times, but he couldn't roll a 4. And it was ridiculous. So I Thunderstomp 6 times, wounding 5, right? All 5. He rolls 3 1s in the first roll, and then, of course, with the other Trickster Shard, he rolls the last 2 dice, and he rolls Snake Eyes. 5 more dice. So a total of 10 of his swordsmen die in this round. 10. Possibly 11. I actually don't remember exactly because I want to say Lady Elizabeth's mount actually got a hold of him as well. He's still stubborn. He makes his break check, but I soul feeder the rest of my wounds off of my demon prince because I did like 11 wounds with him or something crazy. I had a lot of dice to roll. I soul feeder all of his wounds. The sword masters are going down quicker than they can, do anything about this. It's just ridiculous, and it's all because my opponent's dice are mad at him about something. I mean, furious, and I feel terrible for the guy because I can see he wants to burn him. But I told him, like, dude, I am so sorry about your dice. I totally understand. And he was like, hey, you know what? I guess I had it coming because yesterday they were rolling out of the box for me, so whatever. And I'm like, well, damn, man. I was like, can I buy you some new dice or something? He's like, no, I'll stick with these. So he was a good sport about it at least, but I could tell it was like getting punched in the gut. I felt bad for the dude. But still a GT, so we got to keep going. So we go to bottom of 2 after movement, and the Phoenix goes slamming into the Beast, and that was something that should have happened last turn, in my opinion. But it happened in this turn, so that's fine. That's fine. The rest of his stuff, his Seaguar or his Sky Cutter and his Reavers, they're afraid of the Forsaken and Knight combo. The sisters move up slightly, get a better angle on the Forsaken. His Knights basically just reform because I think he's talking about sending them into my Demon Prince. Or maybe I thought he was going to go after Catastrophe. I was fine with Catastrophe because he doesn't earn me combat res and apparently can't charge for nothing. But I didn't know where his Knights were going to go. But either way, I was like, well, bring it on. I'm not too worried about that. Other than that, nothing really moves. Everything else he has is dead. There's a better picture of his Phoenix slamming into the Beast, and I knew that was coming. Also, I'm sorry, I forgot his Sisters of Avalorn didn't move up. They were stupid and they moved up, so my bad. I'm sorry. It's been a while. Nothing happens in the magic phase or the shooting phase worth of note, but in combat, the Beast gets beat down pretty good. He doesn't die to combat. He dies when he breaks and flees like 6 inches and gets run down by motoring friggin' Phoenix over here. It took off after the Beast, which was good because it puts it out of position for the next couple of turns, and that's what I was really hoping for. Over here in combat, Lady Elizabeth has to issue a challenge, and his Archmage once again rejects it because she could actually get out of combat. A Seaguard gets a couple of wounds through actually on Lady Elizabeth, and I roll a 1 and a 2, and then I roll a 1 and a 5 or something like that. She only had 1 wound left. She dies and falls off the hill. Lord Tremendous kind of expected it, didn't really care. He kills another couple of the Sword Masters, and I think there's 3 or 4 Sword Masters left, and the Archmage at the end. I want to say I win this combat, but I'm not sure. He's stubborn and doesn't matter, or I'm unbreakable. Either way, doesn't matter. So we go over here to top of 3 after movement, and there's a little bit, not much. As you can see, my Knights shift over, because I don't know where his Knights are going. Exalted Hero finally, after 3 turns of charging, makes it into the damn Bolt Thrower. My dogs rally, if you can believe it, so I turn him to face the Phoenix, hoping that he'll take that charge. And that's really it. The Forsaken don't move, and the Demon Prince is in combat. There's a better picture of Catastrophe finally making a charge. Nothing happens in magic because I'm a little gun shy now, so we go straight into combat, and I kill the level 4, and I thunderstomp all but 3 of his Sword Masters to death. I win this combat. He's still stubborn. He sticks it out. I think I take another wound, but I'm fine. The Sword Masters are all but dead, and now it's just a matter of time. So here we go to bottom of 3 after movement, and his Knights charge into the flank of my Demon Prince, which I gotta be honest with you, I thought it was a huge mistake. Oh, I'm sorry, inconsequential, but yeah, my Exalted Hero was able to kill the Bolt Thrower, and then he overran because I didn't feel like getting charged by anything else. So, woohoo! But yeah, he overruns huge. Other than that, the Phoenix does the spin maneuver where he runs around, and again, I really, really hope that he was going to go after the dogs. For the most part, that's really about it. Nothing else really moves. The Sisters, the Reavers, and the Sky Cutter all stay where they're at. The Seaguard, I don't even know what the hell they're doing. I think he kind of forgot about them. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There's a better picture of his Knights and his BSBs slamming into the flank of my Demon Prince. During the shooting phase, I think it's the Bolt Thrower behind the Sword Masters takes a shot at my Exalted Hero and puts a wound on him, or maybe it was a Sea Guard. I really don't remember, but he gets a wound through, and you know what? I just don't care. I don't like this guy at all. Not my opponent, I'm sorry, Catastrophe. And then over here, the Sisters of Avalorn pray to their goddess, and she answers. And searing light shoots from their arrow or from their bows and kills two Forsaken, as evidenced by this incredibly bright picture I had no choice but to use. And then we go over here into combat, and I'm like, screw it, my Demon Prince is just a challenge. And the BSB said no and went to the back. So my Demon Prince did all of his attacks at the Knights and killed 3 of them. And then Thunder Stomped into the Swordmasters. I think I got 1 more. They do nothing back to me. I believe the Knights failed their fear check, and I was able to save everything else, so I'm fine. And nothing happens. I think he wins this combat, but not by much, and we stay. So we go over here to top of 4 after movement, and my Knights go into his Knights because I just can't have that. My what is it called? Corn Warriors turn to face the Phoenix because it's like, ah, crap. I thought about bringing the dogs down, but they can't reform. They were facing the wrong way. They can't, swift reform because neither of them know how to play a friggin' instrument. And that's really about it. My Forsaken shimmy up slightly to get closer to the token, and I'm daring the Sky Cutter or the Reavers to come after him. And other than that, I think my Exalted here just moves around to put some pressure on the Sisters because now I'm thinking, screw it, I'm just going to wipe them off the table. There's a better picture of my Knights slamming into his Knights. And no, I did not reform my Demon Prince after combat because, number 1, that would be illegal as hell. And number 2, that would make no sense. I simply turned him around because the Knights wouldn't fit properly with his wings and everything like that. My opponent understood. I understood. No cheating here. Save it. During the magic phase, because why not? I hit him with Final Transmutation again. I hit 1 more and hopefully force the Mass Bubble Stupidity. And then combat over here. My Demon Prince once again issues a challenge. His BSB actually accepts this time and gets his face kicked in for it. My Knights are able to kill just 1 of his Knights. I don't lose any for my trouble. The Swordmasters just get a break and get to watch this round. We win this combat by a lot. Charge, banner, I think I did like 4 wounds to the BSB, plus the wound I did to flank banner, and no wounds. I win by 4, I think, 4 or 5, I can't remember. And they break. My demon, both units break. The Sea Guard break and his Knights break, because he doesn't have a BSB anymore. So my Demon Prince pursues the Swordmasters and slams into the Bolt Thrower, which was awesome. And then my Knights pursue his Knights, but his Knights are much better runners than I am. So they get away, but nothing's in position to really do anything to my Knights, so I feel pretty good about that. So we go over here to bottom of 4 after movement, and the Phoenix doesn't charge my Corn Warriors. He does not go after them. And I don't know if that was a good idea or not. I gotta be honest. I kind of figured my Corn Warriors were going to get plastered by the damn Phoenix. Which I've done nothing to at all. But no, he decided that he wanted to kill the Forsaken. I guess they were the bigger threat. So his Knights fail to rally. Remember what I was telling you earlier about him and his inability to roll panic checks or anything like that? Yeah, his dice hate him this game. He rolls boxcars for the rally check, and then he rolls an 11 with the same 2 dice right off the table. So his Knights are gone. Which is good because now my Knights can redirect their attention somewhere else. But it's bad because I don't like to win games because my opponent's dice have decided that I'm cuter than he is. It's just unfair. His Sea Guard moved towards my Exalted Hero on a Demonic Mount because he apparently wants to shoot him off the table. I believe his Sisters are okay, but his his Illyrian Reavers are stupid this game. And the Sky Cutter just hangs tight because he's got reinforcements coming in the form of a Phoenix. There's a better picture of his Reavers being stupid. And they only went forward like 2 inches, so where the one is that's not on the tray is where they actually ended up. And during the shooting phase, the Sisters take some more pot shots at the Forsaken, killing 1 more. In combat, it's not really worth mentioning. Obviously, my Demon Prince kills the bolt thrower, no problem. I didn't get a picture because we were pressed for time, so we go over here to top of 5 after movement. And my Demon Prince moves over slightly to get a better angle at his Phoenix. I didn't want to move him up too much because I wanted to be able to countercharge my Demon Prince into his Phoenix if possible. Not to mention, I just needed to magic the Phoenix the best I could. My knights reform to look at the Sea Guard just in case they get froggy. My exalted hero slams into the rear of the sisters, and it's all over but the crying for them. And my Forsaken shoot forward, begging the Reavers and the Skycutter to charge them. The hope was that the damn Phoenix couldn't charge them. I moved forward 12 inches. He needed like an 8 to hit me. I know it's not an impossible charge, but it's slightly more difficult. And my Corn Warriors turn to face the Phoenix just in case that damn thing decided to turn around and face them. So now it's crunch time. It's like I've got 2 turns to weather and I've got to gather up these stupid tokens. I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah. There's a better picture of my exalted hero slamming into the sisters, and it's time for them to die. Nothing happens in the magic phase, and I don't shoot, so we go into combat. And Catastrophe is easily able to crush all 4 of the sisters. And then he turns to face the Reavers because I figured the less he has on the table, the less he has to, beat me with. So we go over here to bottom of 5 after movement. And his Phoenix doesn't charge. Nothing charges, actually. His Sea Guard kind of looked lost. His Sky Cutter moves to the flank. The Reavers... I just don't remember what he did with those guys. I think he put them further over to the side there, kind of like around the side so that Catastrophe couldn't charge them. And the Phoenix moves right up to the board edge so that my Demon Prince, he thought I was going to charge it with my Demon Prince. And I'm like, no, not if I don't have to. So his Phoenix goes far, far away so that if my Demon Prince does try to charge him, it's a really difficult charge. And yeah, that's it. During the magic phase, he gets the miasma off on my movement and lowers my movement by 3. He was really worried about my Demon Prince slamming into his Phoenix, but that was never my intention at all. His movement being 5 now is perfectly fine with me. And he got the spell off with the irresistible force. He ends up miscasting 7 and killing 3 of the Sea Guard and ending his magic phase. Not a big deal. His shooting is irrelevant, so we go into we skip combat because there is none, and we go over here to top of 6 after movement. And my Demon Prince moves up 10 inches. I didn't bother trying to charge at all because I didn't see the purpose. I just needed it close enough to get Searing Doom and possibly Final Transportation off onto Phoenix so I could save my Forsaken. My knights back up slightly so that they can stay on the token. And my Corn Warriors, they fail their Frenzy check and have to try to charge the Phoenix, but they only go like 5 inches. The highest number was a 3, so I really just wheel 3 inches, so I don't lose the token, thank goodness. Meanwhile, Catastrophe just kind of looks because I don't know where I'm going to go. Oh, I'm sorry, and the Knights did charge the Sea Guard, and the Sea Guard fled. My mistake. So I failed that charge. Where my Knight is actually where the unit is. There's a better picture of my Forsaken, or not my Forsaken, but my Corn Warriors failing a Frenzy charge into his Phoenix. And then during the magic phase, I get Searing Doom off, the big one on the Phoenix, hoping to roll well and kill this thing. But after rolling to wound and his ward saves, only 1 got through, which kind of broke my heart. So, with nothing left to do, we go over here to bottom of 6 after movement, and as you can see, his Phoenix and the Sky Cutter slam into the Forsaken, which means they're screwed. The Sea Guard do rally, and they turn to face me, and that's pretty much... Oh yeah, and the Sea Guard turned to look at Catastrophe, and that's fine. There's a better picture of his Phoenix and his Sky Cutter slamming into the Sea Guard, and I feel terrible for them. But... it works out a little bit. My Forsaken get regen. It doesn't help a ton, but it's better than nothing. I'm able to put 2 wounds on, or another wound on the Phoenix. I don't think I do anything to the Sky Cutter, but the lack of wounds, the fact that they didn't get wiped out completely, makes them steadfast. And so they actually just need an 8 to stay, and they do, which is awesome because it keeps both of those guys there for another turn, which is huge. So then, we lost track of the turns. I don't know why or how that occurred, but we did. And here we go. There's top of 7. I didn't even realize we did this until I was doing the slideshow, until I was doing this report. I was like, oh crap, We have a whole extra. Well, we have half a turn. We stopped after this. We thought this was bottom of 6. I don't know how it happened. Bowen, dude, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that I got an extra turn. I suck, dude. I'll buy you a beer next time I see you. Not that it really affected anything, because as you can see, everything was pretty much exactly how it was at the time. But yeah, the knights kind of come over and they get closer to the marker. My corn warriors stay on the marker. My exalted hero charges into the flank of the phoenix, and my demon prince moves over to try to get his spells off on the reavers because he's not going to do anything else this game. During the magic phase, I get Searing Doom off on the reavers, and I kill a couple of them, but they make their panic check, so it doesn't really matter. And then we go into combat over here, and the Forsaken eat it. All of them die. But thanks to the fact that my Demon Prince is sitting right next to Catastrophe, he actually makes his break check. And while the Forsaken do, I think one flees, but he gets caught and by his Sky Cutter that chases after him. My Exalted Hero stops the Phoenix from going anywhere, and so we sit there and we argue with each other. And that's the end of the game. As you can see, it went pretty well for me. Not too shabby, not too shabby. A few disappointments. The Exalted Hero not being able to charge was a pain, but he made up for it. He got a hold of the Boltdorf and the Sisters, and then he, ran into the, the Phoenix for a while, so that was nice. My Demon Prince got incredibly lucky against my opponent's dice with the Swordmasters. I couldn't believe that happened. My knights did well, and the Corn Warriors didn't have to do anything this game at all. They just sat there and gathered me 2 battle points, which I thought was pretty cool. I do feel bad about the extra turn. I had no idea until I was doing the battle reports, so I suck. I don't know what to tell you. But, meditate on that, because right now it's time for a quick timeout. Banners, banners, banners. Get you some banners. Look at the banners. You are never going to be able to get better banners than this. There is no company, there is no talent scout, there is no entity on the planet that's going to get you banners better than this. Custom banners for your custom army. You want better paint scores. You want that little edge that makes your army better than the guy next to you. Sick of running, going to tournaments and getting that paint score that's just a few points lower than the guy that literally sneezes on his army. And you can't figure out why? Get these banners and make your army really pop, really stand out. Send this guy an email, tell him what you want, and get yourself some banners. It's totally worth it. But in the end, it ended up being a victory for Lord Tremendous. I got 1,755 victory points out of him, and he got 887 out of me. So it ended up being I got 8 battle points out of him, and he got 1 out of me. With the bonuses and stuff like that. I ended up losing Elizabeth, the Forsaken, and the Beast. He ended up losing his Archmage, his BSB, Corhill, his Reavers, his Silverhelm, his Swordmasters, his Sisters, and 2 Bolt Throwers. I really can't believe it went an extra turn like that. I feel terrible. I had my turn counter out and everything. My only defense is that we were rushed, which was my fault because I ended up in the toilet a little bit longer than I expected. And when we got there, it was just a rushed game. And of course, then I felt bad for my opponent's dice because his dice were just screwing him the entire game. I mean, Corhill died with 3 ones. 3 wounds, 3 ones rolled getting every Thunderstomp through with a 2-up ward save protecting. It was just ridiculous. But, really the only thing that happened in the top turn there was my Forsaken died. So, if nothing else, it just would have been a better victory for me. So, what can you do? I guess it's fine. But like I said, my opponent's dice rolling was, oh, gosh. If anybody knows this guy, buy him some dice. Buy him some dice and a beer, because the poor guy needs it. His dice won me this game. The Swordmasters failed more 2+ saves than I'd ever seen. Even with the other Trickster Shard, if I hadn't have taken it, it would have been brutal. Cass took 3 turns to successfully charge a Bolt Thrower. I don't know what it is with this guy. I think Cass is just bipolar. He's either really, really out of the box, or he's so far inside the box it might as well be a coffin. Although he did turn it around, he did finally get a hold of the bolt thrower in turn 3, and then spin around and get a hold of the sisters and finish off the 4 of them that were left that weren't turned into solid gold. And yeah, no, I'll give him that. I'll give him that. But he should have been in there a lot quicker. I'm sorry, guys. I know you guys want to defend this guy, but he drives me nuts. But it was a interesting deployment slash victory condition scenario. Really wasn't expecting it, and I was totally unprepared. Thank God my opponent's dice were on my team, or this would have gone much, much worse for me. But you know what? He was a real good guy. He was a real solid opponent, and even though he was really discouraged by his dice, he didn't quit. He didn't give up. He didn't throw a fit. He didn't call me cheesy or oh, you got an effing demon prince, you're a scumbag or anything like that. Real cool guy. Really did enjoy my game. I was really glad I got to meet him. But really, really wish he would have let me buy him some new dice too. But all in all, it was a great opportunity for me to kill some elves, especially with a malfunctioning Banner of the World Dragon. And I got another win. So, yay! But, yeah, guys, that's going to do for this battle report, number 153. Only one battle report left with the Warriors of Chaos, and then I'm exclusively a Tomb Kings player. That's right. I'm giving up my flesh and my Chaos devotion for the eternal life of the undead. Sounds like a plan, right? Sounds like a pretty good deal. As always, though, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.